Now as you can see the screen, as I executed the transaction, you need to enter the GL account document, company code 1200. So you can see over here there are certain fields like document date, currency, posting date. Document date basically refers to the invoice date, and the posting date refers to the date in which the posting was done, and on the basis of the posting date all the different transaction or the reports or the ledger balances in the accounts and finance department works with. So you can take the same date as the document date and the same date as the posting date as well. Then you need to select the currency. These are certain mandatory fields which you need to take, and then you can go for the reference. The reference number basically refers to the bill number or the invoice number, or you can take any other reference as well for your understanding. Then the next is document header text, which is an optional part. You don't need to take that. If you want, you can put any text over here for your understanding perspective. Now once you have taken up the document date, the currency and the posting date and the reference number, now we'll be moving up to the GL account. So in this GL account we need to select the GL. So suppose I want to post a transaction like for cash sales. So posting a transaction for cash sales, we need two ledgers. One is for cash and one is for sales. So both the ledgers need to be selected over here. So to get these two ledger accounts selected, we need to first go to search those ledger with the F4 option and then enter. So you can find over here there is a cash account, and then as we know that if you go for a cash sales, the cash ledger needs to be debited. So we have selected the cash ledger over here or the cash GL account. Now from over here you will be selecting debit. Then we'll be taking up the amount over here. And now moving up to the next is the next GL account, which we can select again with the F4 key on the keyboard, enter, and then we can select the sales account from over here. Now suppose if you want to do the transaction for certain such transaction where the GL account does not exist, in that case you need to create the general ledger master data for that with the transaction FS00, the one which we have done earlier to this, and we created the cash or the sales ledger account with that. So now crediting the sales ledger, putting up the amount over here. So once we have put up all the information on the screen, we have taken up the date, the posting date, currency, reference, then the debit ledger account and the credit ledger account and the amount as well. Now before moving up to post this particular transaction, what we need to do is we will be simulating the document so as to check that all the informations are correct. So simulate is an option which provides you that to have a preview before going to post the document, so as to just check back that the transaction is correct and there is no error in it. So you can click onto the simulate over here, and once you click onto simulate, it gives you a message relevant to text. This is a warning message. You don't need to do anything. You can click on to enter. So once you enter, it will take you to the next screen, and now you can see on the screen this shows you the document overview. Document overview basically gives you the overview of the transaction which you are going to post into the SAP system. So you can see over here there is a document type SA, then there is a document date, company code 1200, fiscal year, posting date, and then the period is 11th, and then the reference number and the document currency is there. Then the ledger account number is there, that is one is for cash and one is for sales. The cash account is debit, that is the posting key. The posting key 40 refers to debit, and the posting key 50 refers to the credit part. So if you find that this particular transaction is correct, in that case you can go now and you can click onto this post option and this document will get posted. So as I clicked onto the post, you can see now the document number has been generated. The document 1000000 6 times 0 was posted in the company code 1200. So this is how you need to post your documents, your business transaction into the SAP screen, and this is how you will be doing your posting GL document, that is FB50. Now moving up to the next transaction of unit testing is display document. So once we have seen that the document has been posted with the transaction FB50, that is cash sales, now I want to go and have a display of the same document. Now for that the transaction code is FB03. So there are two wayouts to go back and cross check the document. One is once you have posted the transaction, the document number has been generated. So you can go to this on the topmost over here to the document over here. You can see. So there is an option of display. So you can go directly over here and you can click onto this display. It will take you to the display document part. As you can see, now you can see the document number, the company code, fiscal year, document date, posting date, then the reference, then the debit and the credit details, which you can cross check. So this is one way out of going and displaying the document. The another way out is the transaction code FB03. So we can go and execute the transaction /n FB03, enter. So once you enter, you need to put the document number over here on the screen which you want to display. Then you need to put the company code, for which company code this particular document number belongs to, and the fiscal year, that is 2014. And once you have put on these three parameters on the screen, you can enter on the screen. So once I entered on the screen, you will find that particular document displayed to you on the screen. So this is how you can go and you can check, you can display your documents. It could be any document number which you want to display. You can display it with the transaction FB03. And if you want to check further details within this, you can go to this cap, which is known as display document header, and once you click onto this display document header, it gives you number of more informations to you, like the entered by, that is the user ID, the entry date, which date actually the transaction or the document was posted, what was the time of entry is there, and what is the transaction code used for posting the transaction. So this is some of the informations which you can find with the document header within the document part. So that is over here. So this is how you can display your document within the SAP system once you have posted the document. Now moving up to the next, after displaying the document, the next comes up is change document. So suppose I have already posted the document and now I found that I need to make certain changes to it. So you should take care that you cannot make every changes within the document which has been posted. You can make few changes to the document which has been posted into the SAP system, and the changes which can be done is like changing the reference field, changing the text, or the assignment field. You cannot make changes to every field. Like suppose the document which we just posted, let's make certain changes to that. So the transaction is FB02 for changing the document. That means you can edit the document with certain fields. You cannot make changes to all the different fields within it. That means you cannot change the date, you cannot change the ledger account, you cannot change the amount and all. So this is over here. You need to put the document number, then the company code, and then comes up is the fiscal year, that is 2014. Enter. So once I enter on the screen, you can see the same document on the screen. But now if I go to this again, the document header, now you will find the difference. So in the change, you will find that there are only two fields which are in the change mode. One is the document header text, where I can write it as cash sales, like as a reference. And the second thing, if you want to make changes to this reference field, you can make it as suppose 1 2 3 4. So this is one of the changes you can do, and enter, and you can save it. So once saved, the changes will be saved in the screen. You can go back again to the same, and you can check back over here. So you can see the changes has been taken up over here on the screen. The next change which you can make is in the line item. So these two, one is a debit and one is a credit, are termed as two different line items, and you can see in the second column 1 2, this refers to the line items. So if you want to make changes to any of these line item, you can double click onto that line. So suppose I double click onto the cash account line, it will take you to that particular line item, and you can see that there are only two fields which are in the change mode. One is the assignment and the another is the text. The text basically refers to the narration. So over here also you can put as cash sales or any other information for that matter which you want to save it for future references within the document. So this is what you can do, and then you can go back. Similarly, you can go back to the second line item also, and you can write in the second line item as well. So in the second line item, suppose I also write as cash sales, and now I can go back and I can save this screen. So until you save it, the changes will not be saved. You need to save it after making the changes, and once you have done that, now the changes have been saved. So then you can go back again and you can cross check with these. So this is how you can make changes to the document which is already posted into the SAP system. So now moving up to the next transaction is GL balance display. This particular transaction basically relates to checking out the closing balances for a particular period, or maybe for a particular year as well. So that is what this particular transaction is used for. And you can even check the debit and the credit total balances, the carried forward balances from the last year to the current year within the transaction as well. So this will give you a better understanding in the SAP screen. So the transaction code for this is FS10N. So if you move on to execute this transaction, FS10N, enter. So you can see the screen now, GL account balance display. In this, we first need to select the account number for which we want to check the balance. So suppose for that we need to put the company code 1200. Then we need to take the fiscal year, that is 2014, and then we can go for selecting the account number in this. So you can go to the search options. We need to put the company code 1200, enter. So we can see that these are the number of different GL which has been created, and suppose I take the GL over here as sales account, that is what I have selected, the GL. I have assigned the company code, then the fiscal year, and now to check the balance we need to go to this option over here which is known as execute button, or you can even F8 function 8 key from the keyboard as well. So once you click onto the execute, now you can see that it shows you the screen where it shows you the period wise balances from 1 to 16, where first 12 are the normal period and from 13 to 16 are the special periods which we have discussed while posting period variant as well. So in the 11th period you can check that